Welcome to Country's Family Reunion 2010. Can you believe it's been 13 years since we had the first reunion? Wow, so many great memories. And yet somehow year after year, the reunions just get better and better. With a whole new group of country music legends, plus all the reunion favorites you've come to know and love, this gathering just might be the best yet. So sit back and relax as we share some stories, songs, moments that'll touch your heart. Welcome to Country's Family Reunion 2010.
Everybody's invited. Everybody's here. Yeah. T. Graham Brown Sahadi's up there fanning with one of his records.
Actually, it's Merle Haggard. They got a table back there with all kind of good stuff on it, and it's got a stack of wax. That's hipster talk for records, you know.
You couldn't wait to get up here to sing, could you?
No, I can't.
Good.
Actually, I'm ready.
Good. We'll lay one on.
Everybody else has been singing, and I'm gonna try to sing as good as Rhonda and Jean. Well, everybody else too.
That shouldn't be hard.
Dan.
With me.
So, what you want to talk about?
You're on. I want you to sing.
Let me tell you, this song was written by Paul Kraft, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Great songwriter. Great songwriter. We had a pretty good record on this back about '88, I guess it was. Well, I'm giving a party tonight with champagne and pink party lights. I hope you'll attend if you're free. Come as you were before you stopped loving me. Now my party is BYOL. So bring your old love you once felt, and don't bother to RSVP. Now honey, come as you were before you stopped loving me. If you're sorry that you've hurt me and you've seen the light, do me a party favor, girl, and love me tonight. 'Cause my party, it could be so much fun. Oh yes, baby. If only you just say you'll come. If here is where you long to be, come as you were before you stopped loving me. Loving me, loving me. Come as you were before you stopped loving me.
Where'd you get all that soul?
I don't know. You know, really though, I used to listen to a radio station down in Cordele, Georgia. I was living in a little town called Araby, And I think it was a 5,000 water. We live 10 miles away. Anyway, they would play, it wasn't formatted. They would play maybe Johnny Cash and then Percy Sledge and then the Beatles and then Aretha Franklin or whatever. Plus, we didn't have any air conditioning, and the window was at the foot of my bed, so I would sleep at the foot of the bed a lot of times. We had an attic fan to get the breeze, you know. Yeah. So our house backed up to the railroad tracks, and right across the railroad tracks was where all the black people lived, and there was a black church there. And they would rock, and I guess that's the first live music I ever heard, because none of my family really were musical. And just listening to that, I don't know, man. It's just all mixed up like, you know, BJ's a little bit of everything. And it just all got, I mean, I can sing hard country if I feel like it, or R&B, or rock. I can't sing bluegrass, though. That's something I never have tried.
You ought to try, it's great.
I ain't got the high lonesome for it. But,
You got the soul, though, and that's all.
well, hey, man, it's like BJ said. It feels great to feel like a part of the bunch, don't it, man? Yeah. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. Thanks for having me, Bill.
It's really cool. Here, man.
Really cool.
Talking about Gene Watson's album nominated for a Grammy, you did a duet with Rhonda in the album, is that right?
Yeah, actually, am I turned on? Nope. Because I'm unplugged. But the first time that really I ever met Rhonda, and I'd listened at her for a long time, but first time I ever met her, I was doing this album, In a Perfect World. And I started saying, you know, I'd like to have this one come up here, and this one sang with me, and this one sang with me, and everything. Well, Rhonda was gracious enough to come over and sing on the old Buck Owens song, Together Again. And we got a couple of nominations on that.
We did.
And even then, I wasn't at the studio when she put her vocal on it. And I was doing the Grand Ole Opry one night, and they said, well, you know, Rhonda's coming in. And I'm thinking, I had never met her. You know, we've never sang together as far as together. And that was the first time, wasn't it?
It is, and my plane was late, and
Yeah.
I missed the sound check and rehearsal. So our very first meeting was on stage on the live televised portion of the Grand Ole Opry.
Hi, I'm Gene Watson. Hi, I'm Rhonda Vincent. Let's sing this song, you know. And so it came off so good, and we enjoyed it so much. And I was getting ready to do this last album, of course, with Dirk. And I think Jerry Salley sent this song over. And it just knocked me out. I thought, boy, it's such a great song. And then I got to thinking, the only thing is, it's a duet. And so what do? I get on the phone and call Rhonda. And again, she was gracious enough to come over and help me out with it. And she's one of the finest singers that I know of. And I got to say this because I study, you know, singers' voices. And as everybody knows, you know, bluegrassers, they sing a flat note. You know, and they could hold that flat note from now on. But very few bluegrassers sing with vibrato. And
because, you know, at my family, vibrato was a sin. You would go to hell if you sang a vibrato, according to my father.
But I'll tell you what, let me tell you something. When she starts singing with you, you can put the vibrato in there, boy. You know, she's on you like a dirty shirt. I ain't lying to you.
Gene Watson is one of the greatest singers I've ever sang with, and just always loves singing with him. And we're going to be doing some shows together, so I'm really excited about that too.
Yeah, yeah. This is
Well, how about teaming up and doing the duet for us?
I would love to.
okay.
I can't imagine any guy that wouldn't want to sing with Rhonda or any girl that wouldn't want to sing with Gene.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the Gene, but I know about Rhonda.
We're going to try this. And again, I'd like to thank, you know, Dirk Johnson here for helping us put all this stuff together. And thank you, Dirk. And all this band, they're so terrific. Yeah. You know, I was looking a while ago. I don't think there's a man on that stage that I hadn't recorded with. Yeah. And so all of you guys hold a special place in my heart. I mean, you really do. Y'all sound so fine. We're going to do the best we can. We do it for the children down the hall. Neither one of us could stand to see them cry.
We do it for your mom and dad. There's more hearts to think about than yours and mine. Staying together is what we're supposed to do. We both know better when it comes to me and you. There ain't nothing sadder. There ain't nothing colder. Staying together don't mean it ain't over. People say that we're the perfect pair. They ain't seen us sleeping in our separate beds. We still talk like there ain't nothing wrong, but now love's the only word that's never said. Staying together is what we're supposed to do. We both know better when it comes to me and you. There ain't nothing sadder. There ain't nothing colder. Staying together don't mean it ain't over. There ain't nothing sadder. There ain't nothing colder. Staying together don't mean it ain't over. Thank you.
Yeah.
Y'all sound like y'all been singing together for a long time, man.
Yeah. That's incredible, isn't it?
Yes.
Gene and Rhonda, I'm going to slide up here for a second. Now, you talk about somebody intimidated following Gene Watson and Rhonda Vincent and T. Graham Brown.
Hey, I left that record up there if you need a fan.
You left the record. Oh, okay. What was it Grandpa Jones said that time he followed Garth Brooks on the Opry? Saying he's like following a bulldozer with a spoon. I'm going to try to answer a little bit of the question, Jim,
Thank
that
you.
you asked me a while ago. You talking about songs and
Right.
where ideas come from and things like that. I think most country songs, and John, if you want to get me a little rhythm going over there, it'd be fine. I think most country songs, or to me, the best ones, are songs that are written about things that really happened. And I know everybody in this room has sung songs about things that have really happened. We've also made up things to sing about. This is a little song that I wrote not too long ago and recorded it in a brand new album. And this is a story about a real relationship that I was involved in with a young lady that I thought an awful lot of. And one day I just woke up and she wasn't in my life anymore. And I didn't know where she was. And I thought, well, I'm just going to do what any red-blooded American broken-hearted boy would do. Get my guitar and write a song about it. So every word of this song is true. It happened just like this. She always spoke of going back to Texas. But then again, she sure did like Key West. Heaven only knows where my ex is, but at least she's given my poor old heart some rest. Wherever she is, I hope she stays there. Play like you've never heard this. Whoever she's with, he's welcome to my nightmare. It's so nice, it's paradise, without her in my hair. Wherever she is, I hope she stays there. She told me, you ain't nothing like my daddy. She told me how to dress and how to drive. She told me you don't kiss like my old boyfriend. But my favorite thing she ever told me was goodbye. Wherever she is, I hope she stays there. Whoever she's with, he's welcome to my nightmare. It sure is nice, it's paradise, without her in my hair. Wherever she is, I hope she stays there. But just in case she ever gets the urge to find me, I've got a new phone number, a new email, and an unlisted driveway. Timbuktu, Kalamazoo, Saskatoon, I don't care. Wherever she is, I just hope she stays there. Hey girl, if you're listening somewhere, stay there.
That's great. I love that.
Well, you know, Jeannie mentioned something to me yesterday, I think, when we were taking one of the breaks. You said something about that there used to be more comedy, more fun in country songs than there is now.
We were talking about the songs, when we were doing the writer thing about in country music, how they're so real and it affects our lives, and we sing, we write of things that are real in our lives. And I mentioned to Bill, it doesn't seem like there's anything funny in the songs today. I guess probably the closest one that would write anything humorous. You know, when you think back, even Jimmy Dickens, if he didn't mean to be funny, you gotta laugh when you think about taking an old cold tater and away, whether it was meant as a comedy. But we were talking probably the closest thing to comedy today is Brad Paisley. I think that's because I told Bill he's one of us. He's just younger.
I'm writing one, but I know it's not going to get any airplay.
Well, we recorded one time called "Don't Make Love in a Buggy" because horses carry tails. You know.
I remember that.
Think you get that recorded today?
No, it was recorded, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember it.
Don't make love in a buggy, 'cause horses carry tails. It will be all over town just like the morning mail. Don't make love in a buggy, 'cause horses carry tails. You'll be sorry if you do, it never ever fails. If you should park out in the dark, you'd better just file her nails. Don't make love in a buggy, 'cause horses carry tails,
Yeah,
carry
but how's
tails,
it go?
carry tails.
How's it go?
How's it go? Well, I'm still working on that.
Yeah, Tommy Collins used to write those little novelty songs. You got to have a license. You just
Yeah.
better not do that. You were
You
talking
just better
about
not
him a
do
while
that.
ago.
Yeah.
The world could use some more humor right now.
Shepard and I
the
did
music.
one back about 35, 40 years ago. And we did it one time live in Reeds Ferry, New Hampshire, and the guy dropped dead, so we quit doing it.
No, for real?
Don't forget, is that you, Myrtle, and I'm Pucker.
We figured that was enough of that.
What was the
And
song?
not hold.
I'll take the dog.
Oh, I love that song.
That's the one you and Gene did together.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, all right. But I mean, we used to have Homer and Jethro. We had Lonzo and Oscar. We had, you know.
Well, I love that
funny
song,
kinds of
Bill.
songs.
Cousin Jody.
It's wonderful.
Cousin Jody.
We all
Well,
loved
it's
it,
just,
didn't
it's just fun and silly. Let's move along. Yeah. Mandy Barnett's been sitting up there looking pretty all day, and I know she's one of the best singers in this room.
we? That's a fact.
And you ain't got a very hard act to follow, so let's have another song from Mandy Barnett.
I love that song, Bill. That's great, man.
Me too.
Can I tell you a little bit about Wilma Burgess?
Sure.
Wilma Burgess was on a tour with us one time. Ernest Tubb was on the same tour, and Maxine happened to be there, and I forget who else. But anyway, Wilma Burgess is a heck of a poker player.
Yes, sir.
She won everybody's money. And then Ernest Tubb said, well, she won Ernest bus driver's money. And Ernest said, well, I'll get in there and I'll win it back for you, son. He got in. Let me tell you, when she come back home, she went and bought her a brand new Cadillac. She won everybody's money.
Where is she now? I won the Willis Brothers money coming from
passed away.
Pennsylvania.
You what?
I won the Willis Brothers money coming from Pennsylvania. Just a quarter limit.
Amazing.
I kept sticking them $100 bills down in my. When I got home, took my clothes off, there's about $1,000 bills. He said, my God. I took my clothes off and money went everywhere.
Isn't it ironic that Mandy Barnett, who portrayed Patsy Cline in that wonderful musical at the Ryman, just sang a Wilma Burgess song, and Wilma used to live in Patsy Cline's house. Wow. She bought it, didn't she, after Patsy died? I think so. It's very ironic.
I heard that. I heard that. Actually, when I was a small kid, I performed with Chet Atkins, Archie Campbell, and Wilma Burgess, and that was the first time I'd ever heard "Baby," the song "Baby." But that was one of my favorite memories, being able to sing, you know, with Archie and Wilma. It's great.
Wilma passed away, 3 or 4 years ago?
Wow.
Hadn't been all that long. As everybody knows, we've, since we did the first family reunions in 1997, we've lost 29 people that have sat in this circle, which makes these times together all that much more precious and all that much more special. I thought maybe we'd wrap up the visit today with a couple of songs that maybe we could do kind of in memory of the people that were with us and are no longer.
Yeah.
Carl Smith and I were in Akron, Ohio one time, and Carl had been imbibing a little bit behind stage before he went on, because he was closing the show, and Seibert, Johnny Seibert, y'all remember the steel guitar player? Johnny Seibert was playing with Carl. Well, Ernest Tubb was on the show, and I was on the show, and there were some other people. But anyway, Carl, about the end of the show, Carl was out there, and he was singing his song, and he somehow missed the front of the stage, and there was an orchestra pit down about 18 feet. Carl went down into the orchestra pit. He didn't mean to, but anyway, down in the orchestra pit, and he's got his guitar and a microphone, you know, and amazingly enough, he landed on his feet. Well, he was still singing in the middle of a song, and he never stopped singing. So here he is, he's down in this pit, and it's black down there. There's no lights in it. So, and the spotlight people up yonder, you know, their spotlights, they shine, but they don't go down in the pit. So Carl is down in this orchestra pit, and he can't get out. But he's singing. I mean, and he's just going right on with his songs. And the radio station booked the show. Well, they started saying, what are we going to do? I said, get him out. They said, well, how are we going to get him out? He'd have to come all the way back under the stage, it'd come back all the way. And I said, well, whatever. They said, well, do you think we ought to stop the show? And I said, no, don't stop the show. Just let the show go on, And anyway, Ernest Tubb was standing there watching all of this happening. They finally said, well, we're going to close the curtains. Ernest Tubb said, you better not close the curtains. Said, Johnny Seibert is his man, and he's going to keep playing. And he did. Anyway, they closed the curtain, and Carl Smith is still down in the thing. Johnny Seibert is backstage playing the steel guitar. And everybody else has quit, left the stage.
Carl's still singing.
Carl, he finally comes out. He finally gets out of it, and he walks out in front of the curtain. He says, friends, you've seen my show. Bye.
Bill, I fell off stage like that in Branson. Stepped off in the dark. And it was about the second song. And there was a little man, he came to my show like 553 times before he died. And so every day he became part of our show, so I would introduce him early on and say, we're looking for a wife for John, and this kind of thing. And I would kneel down and kiss him on the forehead. And and I did that one day, and I had a cocktail dress length. And so I said, will you turn the lights off so I can get up? Well, everybody laughed, so it became part of our show. And so this particular day I had a long gown on. And so when they took the lights down, I stood up, and I was, I'm so used to the stage being there, and I was closer, and I just stepped off into, and my microphone flipped, and so one of the girls that sang for me said, I saw that mic do something kind of odd. And when they brought the lights up, I wasn't there. And so I was on my knees, and I had my hair up, and I kind of knocked it down, so it was a little sideways. And I whispered into the mic in the dark, I fell. I don't know who I thought could help, because I was trying to be real subtle. So so when the lights come up and I'm not there, everybody's like, where is she? And so I'm trying to stand up, and then they kind of saw the top of my head. And Roy just went pale. And so I said, oh, I'm fine, let's sing. We went to the next song. Well, I had landed on my elbow, and it was started to hurt. And so I went up there, and I'm singing. And so then we go into a slow song right after that. And, oh, God, it was hurting so bad. And tears start just running because of the pain, And Roy said, are you okay? And I said, I don't think so, And so when that song ended, I just sort of gracefully left the stage. And so I told him backstage, I said, call the doctor and find out what I have to do to finish this show, because I think I've really hurt myself. And so they said, put it in a sling and don't move any more than you have to, Well, so we get through it now, the whole show. And somebody said, does she do that every day? Who would do that every day, But anyway, it's crazy, that mindset, the show must go on, because we really do believe that.
Does that answer your question about Carl Smith?
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, both stories were awesome.
Talking about falling off the stage, Brother McCall told me a wonderful story about Hank Snow falling off the stage. And also about Chubby Wise. Now, you can clean it up a little bit and change the light, but tell us.
You wanted to clean?
He might have, one of them here might have been on the package show, but I know my brother Darryl McCall was on the package show and said that Hank was taking his bows and backing off the stage. It was a stage built on top of a hockey rink, somewhere up in Canada. Yeah, hockey arena, and said that Hank just backed off the stage and just fell. I mean, just splattered all over the ice back there. And Chubby come to help him. He said, I'll clean it up a little bit. Dadgummit, Chubby, why don't you watch where I'm going?
I didn't mean to take away from Carl either, because it was wonderful.
That was a great story.
I'll tell you something that'll tell you a little bit about the kind of guy Carl. Carl Smith was talented. He was handsome. He was flashy. The ladies loved him. He had a lot of hit records. He had a great swinging band. But there's one word you'd never use to describe Carl Smith: modest or humble. My mother brought me to the Opry the first time I ever went. I was 14 years old, and Carl was on the show. And my mother sat there. It's the only time I ever thought my mother would have left my dad. I think she'd have gone home with Carl Smith. She just totally fell in love with him. About 25 years later, when I got to know Carl, I told him the story. I said, Carl, my mama brought me to the Opry. I was 14, and she just fell madly in love with you, and she's still in love with you to this day. He never smiled. No, he looked at me, he said, your mother has good taste.
But you know something, Bill? To my knowledge, Carl Smith was the only one of us who ever walked away and never came back. He never had any ego desire to get back in the business. When he retired, he just plain retired, didn't he? Does anybody know anybody else that ever
Sonny
did that?
James, I think. Sonny James.
Sonny James.
Yeah.
Well, Sonny James, though, is doing some things now.
Oh, is he? Yeah. Earl Scruggs.
Yeah.
Wasn't you all working on top of a drive-in movie one night? Cedric Rainwater was playing bass. Now, Benny saw the show and said Cedric used to do this little thing where he would run back and slide up to the front of the thing, but this dude had fell. And he just kept going. Fell right off that. And said, the guy that played fiddle for you, I can't, who? Paul, yeah. Leaned over and said, Sid, are you hurt? He said, hurt? Hell, I'm killed.
Billy Dean, you've got a great song that'll kind of sum up this entire occasion here.
Yes, sir.
And I think you ought to share it with us.
I sure will.
Terry Choate, I didn't know what to expect here, and my buddy Terry Choate and Larry Boothby and those guys who I have a lot of history with. Larry Boothby put me on my very first TV commercial here in town, and they said, you know, we have lost a lot of people. 29, is that to be exact? And so I'd like to dedicate this song to all of you, but especially all those who've been here before us, because we get to stand on the shoulder of those giants. And it's a song that Richard Lee wrote, who was here for the songwriter portion of the show, and great Hall of Fame songwriter, and it was my very first single. So if the Carolese singers will accompany me on this, we'll start it. Gonna hold who needs holding, mend what needs mending, and walk what needs walking, though it means an extra mile, and pray what needs praying, say what needs saying, 'cause we're only here for a little while. I want to let them plug me in. Today I stood singing songs and saying amen, saying goodbye to an old friend that seemed so young. Will he spend his life working hard to chase that dollar, putting off until tomorrow the things he should have done? It made me stop and think, what's the hurry? Why the running? I don't like what I'm becoming.
I'm gonna change my style. I'm gonna take my time and not take this all for granted, 'cause we're only here for a little while. I'm gonna hold who needs holding, mend what needs mending, walk what needs walking, though it means an extra mile, and pray what needs praying, say what needs saying, 'cause we're only here for a little while. So let me love like I'll never see tomorrow. Treat each day like it's borrowed, like it's precious as a child. And take my hand, let us reach out to each other, 'cause we're only here for a little while. I'm gonna hold who needs holding, mend what needs mending, walk what needs walking, though it means an extra mile, and pray what needs praying, say what needs saying, 'cause we're only here for a little while. Come on now, whites. Gonna hold who needs holding, mend what needs mending, walk what needs walking, though it means that extra mile. Gonna pray what needs praying, say what needs saying, 'cause we're only here for a little while. Thank you, Brother Bill. What a great way to put a lid on it. Thanks, everybody.